Welcome everyone to the show. I'm your host Don Vic, and we in the building. You already know what it is, what it should be, and what it could be. Ha 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 ha! Woo, y'all! So today we got a special guest coming on the show by the name of Steve Morris. He's a filmmaker, actor, and writer. We're gonna have him on the show in a minute. As soon as he pop in, we'll bring him on the show. Real quick, I just want to shout out Sandra. She is now trying to get some votes in. Sandra Smith, by the way, she's trying to get some votes in. So she's in 5th place right now. She needs some more votes. Please, guys, help her out. Go on her page and vote her in. Believe for a magazine. So we really appreciate it if you guys vote for her. You can go on her link and vote. We appreciate that. So big shout out to Sandra A. Smith, doing a lot of things. She's a director. She was on the show last week, and I actually voted for her. So appreciate it if you guys can tune in and vote as well. Show her some love. Show her some love. Also, today at what, 8 o'clock? 8:30, the Celtics will be playing Miami Heat. It's 1-1, guys. The heat is on, baby. Hopefully we can get this win and come home with a championship. They deserve it. They've been playing hard. I mean, all the teams have been playing hard, but I'm a Celtics fan, so definitely want the Celtics to win. You know what I mean? Okay. Big shout out to the paranormal investigators worldwide, Enlightened Souls Paranormal Team. You already know Lisa Marie. Also, Matt Barron, Brandon. Man, so many people. So shout out to them. Also, my man Brant Gaskin as well, actor from North Carolina. Big shout out to North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man DJ CC too. You heard my man DJ CC. Big shout out to DJ CC, man. North Carolina, stand up. Okay. Also, big shout outs to my director June DeGasio. Will be out in Baltimore on the 4th to shoot another film. He got some nominees coming up, so can't wait to see who the nominees are for the movie. So guys, tune in and go on June DeGasio's page, and you can find out who the nominees are for the film. So I can't wait. Oh, so we actually got Steve Morris here, guys. So we're gonna bring him on the show. We're gonna talk to him, find out what he's got going on. Okay, guys. So please welcome Steve Morris to the show, everyone. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming aboard the show. How you been?
Pretty good. Keeping myself busy, man. Ever since pandemic, way back when. So.
Okay. I see. So real quick, you can tell the viewers where you're from.
Okay. Right now, I'm located out in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm looking to do other states as well. So.
Okay, you ready to expand?
Yeah. For my next film, we're looking moving out towards Nevada to shoot out there for that. So. Awesome. Help out for a lot of locations that we kind of have in the script and such. In-ground pools and stuff ain't as easy to come by in Indiana. So
okay, I understand that. 100%. So what is this film that you're planning on shooting in Indiana?
Okay, so I just wrapped one we shot here in Indiana. It was called He Knows. It's a holiday Christmas slasher film, I would call it. That one is about a killer named Sammy the Elf who kind of punishes the naughty of a small Midwestern town. We've already wrapped filming on that one, and that'll be coming out here soon. And then the one I'm looking to film next will be looking at possibly next summer. That one's working title right now is called Bad Apples. And that one's I'd call that akin to something like not the bad son, the good son or the orphan. So it's just a kid slasher film.
Okay.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when does this all begin for you? When did you become an actor before you started directing, or you started directing before you became an actor?
I definitely acted way before I got a chance to direct. So I started film school way back in 2009 out in the Art Institute in North Hollywood, California, for digital filmmaking and video production. Sorry, it's a tongue twister. I got in some good experience out there. Then I moved back here to Indiana to start a family, and just recently, in the past few years, I've been getting back into filmmaking as more of an actor and such. And sometimes as an actor, you're like, man, I really want a specific role, but nobody's really casting or writing that role. So then I started writing that role, and then I got to the point where people were just, they're doing okay on the stuff that I'm writing, but I'm like, man, I kind of want control because I want to see it a specific way. So it all just kind of like developed into being like, well, I'm going to have to act, write, direct, and everything if I want it done right,
Right.
So.
Yeah. So, do you like the acting part of it more, or do you like the directing part of it?
Definitely the acting part is my favorite thing.
Okay.
I will say, for anybody looking to make a film, maybe acting and directing at the same time in your first film isn't the way to go. I did do it, and it came off well, but I knew I could probably do a better performance had I only had to focus on a performance, so.
Right. Yeah, because it's too much work to act and direct, at the same time.
Actor, writer, director, producer, crafty, PA, indie set, we do it all. We wear many hats. So whatever gets the job done.
I know, right? What do you love about acting the most?
Well, I'm kind of a socially awkward type guy, and I like to be able to play people that are kind of cool or scary or just not me, so it gives me a chance to really let people know that, hey, I have a personality, so.
Right.
It's all around fun, especially if you got a good cast, crew, and everything around you. Acting is just, it's so cool.
So you have your own, you have your own crew?
Oh yeah. For my film, I've kind of gotten really close to a lot of people that I worked with on my first feature that I'm, carrying over to my second feature as well, actors included. But, I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and I've kind of like, grabbed a little bit of everybody. I was just kind of like, I choose you, threw out my Pokeball and got a good one here and there, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. When you play a character, what type of character do you like to play?
Oh, I like being a bad guy, dude.
Hey, welcome to my world.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm just like so chill and everything usually. So when I can get to be angry or something, or just like subtly scary on camera, it's just the best. So
yeah,
and I haven't had as many chances to do that, so I'm waiting to write myself that specific role. So far I've been like the fun stoner guy who just, if he pops up on camera, expect to death. So.
And that's the great part of being the director, that you can write your, the role that you want to play.
For sure.
Versus being an actor and waiting for that role to come and hope that you can get that role. So I get it 100%. And it's fun, I guess, as a director writing, because you can write your character the way you want to write it. And then act it out the way you want to act it out. So I could see why you're directing now, so you can play the roles you want to play.
Yeah, especially when you're like, you kind of get to a certain point where you've done so many projects and you're starting to hold yourself to a certain standard. You're like, man, if I'm putting all the money in it, I gotta control it. You know what I mean? Not to be like controlling, but like you gotta be able to, know what you're putting your cash into and making sure it's gonna get to something in the end.
Right. And usually, like when you watch a film or a movie, you always remember the bad guy. You don't quite remember the good guy unless he's like really out there, but the bad guy usually get noticed the most.
Well, the bad guy makes the good guy good. So, so
Right, right.
it all kind of falls on a bad guy. And that was kind of something we did with like my first feature film, He Knows, is I kind of wanted a killer, a mass killer similar to like a Scream or Halloween type killer that was kind of, surprising and scary in his own way. I wanted something a little bit of I guess original, and I really love Christmas. So that's kind of what we went with that first film. So, it's just an iconic villain is something you really want to go for. For the Luck, we were like, I want something kind of mashed up with Twisty the Clown meets Elf on a Shelf.
Okay.
So, don't know if you got a chance to check out any of that footage or like the images.
I seen some of the reels that you sent me about who He Knows. Interesting. Who else? It's in the movie. He Knows. Is it just you or?
Oh man, there's so many bigger names than me. Like I'm just a newbie compared to the people I surrounded myself with. So like as a director, one of my strengths is knowing my weaknesses. So like I said, surrounding yourself with better people than you is the best way to go. So for actors, I've got like Lynn Lowry from Shivers and The Crazies, some iconic horror films. I got Morgan Pyle. She's from God, it's a tongue twister. The Zac Efron Ted Bundy film on Netflix. She played his daughter on that. Plus she's in, The Wicked Ones, Angel, many more indie films. I got Julie Ann Prescott. I've got Sean C. Phillips, Britt Baker. She's a local indie Fox 59 news anchor. So I had a nice little cast going there. So there's so many other people. There's a lot of characters in this film and a lot of deaths. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. When you write a story, is it based on true stories or fiction?
Well, I write a lot. Anybody that knows me knows I got like 5 scripts going on at once, and some I like to pull from some real stuff. If you live through some crazy stuff or if you experience some stuff, it will come across in your writing sometimes. And I've seen some things, but I
can imagine.
I stick in a horror genre because I like to kind of make light and fun of it, and that's kind of the type of horror movies I do. Like they're going to be scary, but there's some humor in there too to kind of break that up. So that's kind of what my focus is on right now is horror films.
Okay, horror films. I like horror films. I know you put up something about Scream. Scream was one of my favorite movies when it came out.
Yeah, and that was a big inspiration for He Knows because I have a masked killer. It's a big whodunit. There may or may not be more than one killer.
Yeah, I like those type of movies when you think it's one guy, you like, I know it's him or it's her, I know, and then in the middle it switches up, and you'd be like, wow, it's not it was the little kid.
Right.
It was the kid that was doing all the killings.
Right. And see, for my second film, I'm going to do kind of the complete opposite. Like, we're going to follow the antagonist throughout most of the film. So we're going to kind of see her perspective. And it's going to be a young girl named Alice. She's an orphan who kind of starts to show her true colors when her foster family adopts yet another kid to kind of steal the spotlight from her. So that's why I kind of compare it to like The Orphan or The Good Son, because it's kind of like a young kid with problems who's kind of causing some situations for the people around her.
Wow, that's awesome. And when is that coming out?
So I'm looking at putting everything together for getting that in pre-production over the next few months. I'm hoping to film that by next spring, next summer, and then release it the following summer, if not sooner. I try not to make promises when it comes to deadlines of releasing things, just because with COVID and everything, like I was expecting to release He Knows like a year ago, but everything was slowed down. We only filmed for 22 days, but that was over like a year, trying to get everybody back together, keeping them together and script rewrites, etc. Like, it's a miracle to get a movie made nowadays, even for like the big guys. So people like me starting out, it's like, I'm going to pat myself on the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it hard for you to keep your actors together? Because sometimes like you said, in the spirit of 1 year, you only shot 22 times in COVID, and try to bring them back because sometimes people get busy doing other things.
Absolutely.
Is that a problem for you? Has that been a
that
problem?
was a huge problem for me on this film. So like we filmed it, I think it was like starting October 2020, and then we wrapped the following August.
Wow.
So like they were like little windows here and there. It's like we're gonna go film 2 days, 5 days, 4 days, location based, actor based, trying to juggle some of the bigger names to be there. So, and with an indie film, you're not able to pay people to take all that extra time off or to say no to another job. So you kind of have to just kind of juggle schedules or decide if you're going to do a rewrite in a script. And luckily, we got everybody to juggle the schedule. So
cool.
Not to say that we didn't have several rewrites of the script, but there's so many versions of the movie. At one point in time, I was like, it's going to be a creature feature. And I was like, I'm kind of more terrified of a person in a mask than I am kind of this whole Krampus thing that's kind of been worn out, with the Christmas themed movies. So.
Okay. When you write a script, do you go exactly from what you write, or do you switch up on the street on the script?
Used to, I would prefer to go, from script to screen, kind of keep it similar. But nowadays I'm working with like so many talented actors that they kind of bring their own thing to the character sometimes. And,
right.
If it works, man, we kind of play with it. So I'm big on kind of like letting everybody collaborate on set. I don't care if you're the PA or director. If you got an opinion that is better than mine, let's hear it. You know what I mean? So
Right. That's awesome. Teamwork with the dream work.
Oh, absolutely.
How many
films? Had an amazing team.
I can imagine. How many films have you said you've done so far?
Oh man. Really, it's not too many, but I can't like think off the top of my head. As a director, that was my first writing, acting, directing one that's seen the light of day. You know what I mean? So
right.
I've done a lot of short films as an actor, at least a dozen or so. I've been in bigger films as like background extra, which, for anybody looking to break into film, I always suggest to either do like a background extra role on like a bigger project or something.
Right.
Like I've done Nashville, Hellfest, Jungle Cruise, a lot of bigger productions where it was like really fun, you know what I mean? And I got to see how it all worked, or be a PA on set. So you can kind of learn what roles you want to do. So you can be like, oh man, the lighting department is interesting to me as a PA. Maybe you can kind of migrate over to that department and learn a thing or two, So I've done a little bit of everything. So it's kind of hard for me to keep track of. But yeah, not too many bigger films. I'd say less than 20 or 30. I don't know.
Wow. It's a lot. When you look for, when you're casting or when you're shooting a film, what is it that you look for in an actor?
Well, most of the time I just I like to fill people out because I don't care if they're really new or they're really experienced, because sometimes you get experienced people on set and they're really just harder to work with than some of the newer people, Right. They're not willing to learn or collaborate, etc. Or vice versa with some new people, So sometimes you just gotta fill out personalities, maybe have like a meeting beforehand, work with them on set once or twice, or
right.
Just connect through email, messenger, have a few conversations here and there. And, sometimes newer people, they don't really know how to have like their resume and all that together. So it's just kind of like you coach them through stuff like that, it's just
right.
Send me your basic measurements, a couple of, you don't have to have headshots, but, take a couple of candid photos with your phone. So I kind of get an idea of what your look is, maybe a video,
right.
Personality wise. So like for He Knows, my first film, crowdfunding wise, we had quite a few people that wanted to purchase roles to be in the film. And that's kind of what I did, is I reached out to them, was like, hey, this is kind of the idea for the scene I have. Shoot me a little info about you. And I kind of wrote the characters for them. But they brought so much fun improv to the roles that I was just kind of like, okay, well, throw the script out. This is fun. We're doing what you said. That's just one of those fun collaboration moments where it was like, oh, somebody paid to be in my movie. They could turn out to be a bad actor and I'm stuck with it. But man, they were amazing. You know what I mean?
I get it 100%.
They outdid me in a film. When you go to watch it, you're going to be like, yeah, I can see why he was saying don't direct and act in your first film. He's okay. These extras, man, these people that paid to be in a film, they killed it. I'm just like, I'm going to write you into my next movie. So a lot of them I've already reached out to and like, hey, you want to die in the next movie? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I want to die.
Right? It's the funnest thing to do.
Ooh, if you can remember back when you first did your first film, your first acting for whoever you did it, how did you feel? Was you nervous? Did you get butterflies?
Oh man.
What was running through your mind when that camera said action?
Oh man, I'm always nervous. So my first thing I did, so I went to film school, like I said, so I started 2009 doing online courses, all that. Finally
Right.
got on campus closer to 2010, and I come from like kind of a not the greatest neighborhood. I didn't finish high school. I dropped out in the ninth grade, went and got my GED, went to film school. Um, so when I got there, a lot of these people had been in AV clubs. They've worked on tons of projects. I have no knowledge of anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I want to be in movies. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and they're all like, well, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Like,
Right, right.
I want to do it all. You know what I mean? And I'm still at that part where I'm kind of like, why do I have to choose? I kind of like to do it all. So, I do have my things I focus more on, like writing, acting, or so, but
Right.
just to do it all. But yeah, that first thing was it was a class project, man, and it was just like, the actor didn't show up. You got to get on there, and I'm like, I'm the sound guy today. I'm sitting there shaking and everything, like. So I got a nerve disorder called essential tremors, and it kind of causes me to shake, twitch, or whatever. Sometimes stutter at the worst cases, but it's manageable. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, if I get real nervous and it starts to kick in, it's like, like a Scooby-Doo cartoon, dude. So, trying to tame that is fun.
Wow,
Especially
that's
when you got a
great.
lot on your mind. You're like, oh my god, I got to focus on this, that, and this and that. So
Yeah, and being a director, what do you find is the hardest thing for you as a director?
mm, really, it's kind of hard to choose what's hard because it's just so many things come up that you don't really think of, especially like I said, if you were in my shoes and you were a writer, director, actor, producer, you're doing all that on that one set. There's so many things that come up. It's like, we got a set, we got a location for everybody to stay at. Everybody knows what they need to do. Everybody's happy, they're comfortable, we're ready to shoot. We don't have toilet paper. And nobody's free to go get toilet paper. So now I got to DoorDash toilet paper. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's little things you just don't think about where it's like, those are the hard things, the unplanned for situations. Like, I call an actor, we're all on our way to set, and I'm like, hey, everybody's at set. Are you on your way? Oh, you're calling me because I'm supposed to be on set today. You know what I mean? And they're in like a completely different state. And it's like, oh my God, I got to completely shift today's scenes to tomorrow's scenes to today. Tell one person they no longer have to come because the other person didn't come.
right,
There's just, those are the hard things to kind of juggle, but
right.
so rewarding when you get through it. Because like I said, I've got
Right.
plan A through Z. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I got
yeah.
backups for backups. I've
Yeah.
been in every position. I'm like, it's going to take us half an hour to set this up because I've been that guy. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Do you keep backups just in case one actor doesn't show up or can't make it? Do you have extra backup for that person?
oh, I will in the future.
So
you get stuck
happens.
in those situations where you're just kind of juggling, and it's like everybody's doing a great job. You don't want to fire anybody. It's just kind of a situation, especially during COVID. It was like some people had to lock down. It's like, maybe I'm sick, maybe I'm not, but just in case, we're not infecting a crew. And thankfully, we didn't get anybody sick. So filming over a year time during the worst time. So
yeah, I get it. Do you keep most of your cast that you work with through all your films, or do you like bringing new actors into your films?
Well, I like to do a little bit of both. I've only done the one feature as like the kind of, the head of everything, excuse me. But, sometimes when you find people that just really click, it's just, you want to take them with you however you can. So I got some people that maybe were crew that are going to be actors in the next one, or vice versa. They were actors, now they're going to be on a crew. I just try to keep the family together, so keep it as fun and light as possible, whatever keeps the day moving.
Right. I get it. Who as a director, what actor would you love to have on one of your sets?
Oh man, I've got So many.
Give me a few.
Ooh, God, what is his name? Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. And he's going to be in a new season of The Boys, which I'm hyped for. I don't know if anybody watches The Boys, but it is an insane superhero show that is just super raunchy. And to watch him go from, pretty boy on Supernatural to probably raunchy, dirty Captain America ripoff on The Boys, right. That's going to be insane to watch. I'd love to see him in like a legit horror movie. And I mean, he was in like My Bloody Valentine and stuff like that, but I'd like to see him in more of a role. Michael Rosenbaum, Lex Luthor from Smallville. I'd like to see him in more horror movies. You know what I mean? Yeah, he played Lex Luthor on there. It was fantastic, and I followed like his podcast and stuff as well, which he does a great job on that. If anybody's ever got a chance, a free plug to him. I don't know why, but sorry about that. Hey, you're welcome, Michael. No,
yeah, you're welcome, Michael. That's funny. So I have plenty of directors have been on my show. I don't know if you'd like to collaborate with other directors and actors. I have plenty of actors that have been on my show from California, Hollywood, you name it, been on my show. And some of them look for work, so I don't know if that's something that you will be interested in.
Oh yeah. Anybody can always apply, send over your information, follow any of our pages that we have. I have my own website for He Knows right now, but there's going to be plenty of more information up there for other projects. It's moresbetterpictures.com, where you can look up He Knows the Movie on Facebook, or I have a private group going on right now for the next project called Bad Apples. You might be able to find that, or just add me and I can add you to the group if that's something you might be interested in. So for like my first film, we did film in Indiana, but I had people from all over. I had people from Georgia, California, Nevada, you name it, people just, they wanted to be part of it because it sounded like a fun story. And if you've got, some talent to back up with that eagerness, then I'm going to bring you on somehow, even if it is just like a PA or just to hang out for a day on set and just see how we operate. You know what I mean?
Right. That's awesome. Tell me about the movie Chasing Rabbits.
Chasing Rabbits. So I have a fun little role in that one. I'm going to be, or I was a cult member. I can't tell you too much about the plot on that one.
Okay.
Other than it's about a woman looking into the past of like one of her parents, and it all kind of leads into like this cult situation.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd say it's a little more lighthearted along those lines still, but still really good film to check out. I don't know the director that well to get his permission to just say too much about the plot, But I got a fun little role in that one.
Okay, and what about Embalmers?
The Embalmers, that was kind of one of my ones where I got to be a bad guy. So I played Frank Ratz. The Embalmers are like this family. They have mystical powers to kind of trap people inside their body in the afterlife for, sins that they may have caused. They are able to look into their life and be like, this guy was a pervert, so now he's locked in his body and we're going to bury him alive, essentially. They do stuff like that. And my family are like a bunch of, how to say it, backwoods, redneck voodoo worshipers who are kind of opposing that family. And my guy, Frank Ratz, kind of has like a Jedi-like ability. He can just tell you to do something and you have to do it.
Wow.
So that one was fun.
Is that movie out?
That is out. You can look up the Embalmers on Facebook for that. We had a lot of decent names on that one as well. Rob Mello from Happy Death Day. God, I can't remember how to pronounce her name. Elaine Cutie or Udy. She's from Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and like My Bloody Valentine.
Okay.
It's just a lot of fun people on that cast. Alice Winkler, Jessa Daisy, Rebecca Reinhardt, Diane Fracker. A lot of those people I've worked with on that one, I brought with me to He Knows, and a lot of them will come with me to Bad Apples as well.
So you got some pretty good actors on on that film.
Oh, for sure. And again, another project I worked on was The Wicked Ones. and what was called Wicked Ones. The part 1 is called The Wicked One. So part 2 is the one I'm in. It's called Wicked Ones. I pulled a lot of cast and crew from them as well. You know, I met a lot of cool people on that set. Was like, hey, I'm doing this. Are you interested? And we chatted and went from there. So that's just kind of how you keep it going, is network with anybody that's, you know, willing.
Right. So how about Halloween? I've seen something you posted, Scream, Halloween.
Oh, so for that one, that was just saying that my film, He Knows, the kills are inspired from Scream and Halloween. So we just released a scene the other day. I was kind of releasing it in kind of preparation for this podcast, actually, so we could have some footage to talk about. It's a kill scene. And if anybody checks it out, maybe you'll notice the nods and Easter eggs to kills from Halloween H2O and all of the Scream franchise, kind of just how we shot it, how it was cut, how the killer is framed with the music and everything. So it's about a little under 3 minutes of a scene we just released the other day.
Wow,
the movie's coming soon. We're just so close to wrapping up in post-production. This whole week I've been just reviewing the audio and everything, the music and stuff, just trying to see what little tweaks we can do to get it right before we try to release it this summer.
Right, because it takes, you know, making a movie is not easy. You know,
not at all.
You got to get the music right. You got to get all types of things right to before you even release the film, even just to release the trailer.
Oh, for sure. And it's a thing too, where it's like, we did crowdfunding for the film and I got nowhere near the budget that I wanted, but I still was like, we're not going to budge, you know? So I just worked 2 jobs, donated plasma, got a few extra donations here and there from people that were like, well, he's still doing this thing. You know what I mean? And we were able to kind of get it over that finish line. Well, we're still not there, but it's right there. It's right there.
Right. Who's your composer for the films?
So for this film is Kirk Ashley Smith. I forget the name of his studio at this second, but he's done an excellent job. I just got his cut this week, and I've been reviewing it, and he's done a really great job of capturing that kind of like holiday horror that I was looking for, with some of the humor in there too. So.
Oh, okay. Because you know, I know people that composers do sound for people that create films. My friend here, Brent Gaskin, he's also an actor from North Carolina. He said, I have global promotional available.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Add me on Facebook or something, man. Let's get in touch.
Yeah, Brent Gaskin. This here is Steve Morris. You can find him on my page. You can reach out to him, and guys can talk and see how you guys can help each other out. Brent Gaskin is a great actor. He's from North Carolina. He works with some amazing actors. Julia Roberts' brother. I forgot his first name. Mm-hmm. But he's
Eric
working,
Roberts.
Yeah, I believe he's working on a project with Eric Roberts. Yeah.
Actually, the actress from my film right now is just working with Eric Roberts as well. It might be the same project. Is he working with Lynn Lowry?
I have no idea. I know he's working with a lot of people. I'm not sure who he's working with, but he's always busy. He's working all types of projects, and he's just a great guy overall. You know, so. You know, I would love you guys to link up and see if you guys can hit it off or something. Also, a friend of mine, Sandra A. Smith, that was on my show last week. She's a film director as well. You know, so what I love about the show is that I have a lot of guests come on my show like yourself, film directors, writers, producers, and I kind of like to connect them with each other, because you never know what ideas you guys can come up with and what other projects can come up with.
Absolutely, because I was actually thinking the same thing with my film that I'm working right now. So I've been trying to invite any director, filmmaker friends that I have. It's like, you guys won't be directing this one, sorry, but I would love to collaborate with you and have you as a producer. No, that doesn't mean you have to give me your money. That just means that you have to, be part of the production process, talk out the script, and be on board. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, you don't like it. No hard feelings. It's just, I want to reach out and try to make, I'm super competitive, but in a fun way. But some people are in a competitive way of just being like, I'll never work with this person because I hate them. You know, they're doing better than me, so I'm never going to work with them. And it's like, why? Like, I'll work with anybody at least once. I mean, unless you're just like, my philosophy is everyone's my equal until they prove themselves less than. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I hate that mentality. It's just like, hey man, let's chat, hit it off. If not, no problem.
Right. That's so awesome. You know, Halloween, I've met Sandy Johnson. Sandy Johnson played in Halloween in 1978. She was the first one from the first movie of Halloween with Michael Myers. She played his sister in the movie. She's a great actress. She's always looking to work. I know she's traveling now doing something with Halloween stuff, but she's amazing. Also, who else? Katie Wallen. She's an actress with her husband. They're also directors. I think they're from Michigan or something like that. But I have a whole ton of
Pretty
people.
Close to Michigan, so.
Yeah, so how
you casting? You want a PA? I'm right there for you.
right. You never know who might need what, and this is why, you know, I love to bring people on my show, you know, because I can connect them with other people, and you guys can create beautiful things. I'm also into the acting thing. You know, I'm going out to Baltimore on the 4th to go shoot something.
Awesome.
You know, I'm playing a character named Buck, so it's based on a human trafficking. So I can't wait to play out.
It's up my alley, man. It sounds like you get to be like probably a fun bad guy or something, right? A name like Buck, you're probably not the best guy, I assume.
Yeah, well, right. And it's funny because like when I play a role, I either get like a CIA agent or get a bad guy role. You know,
I get like a lot of offers for like backgrounds on like movies and stuff like that of like being a cop or like a military agent, and I'm like, dude, I am just like the most chill dude. I am not meant to be a police officer. You know what I mean? Like,
I can see you playing military though,
dude. Yeah, I mean, like background. There was like, what was it, the Chicago 5? I was like fitted for that. I was going to go be an extra in that, but like scheduling didn't work out, you know. There's a lot of stuff. The Wicked Ones, I played like a security guard type person transporting a prisoner. So like I get that cop role a lot. Black Mamba, I was kind of like this weird time hopping cop type guy he was a bad dude. You know, it's just, I get typecast a lot as the cop type guy, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, a lot of people say I look like that kid from We're the Millers, you know what I mean? So they're all like, yeah, you're gonna be typecast as a cop a lot because of Detroit, my guy. No, the movie.
Right. So if anyone wants to reach out to you, what's the easiest way to reach out to you? Is it through Facebook? Is it through Instagram? How do they reach out?
Facebook is my main way to reach out, just because I feel like it's the most unfiltered way to kind of see people. You know what I mean? You see how they promote themselves on films. If they don't promote the work they're on, chances are I'm not going to work with them. Not that, you know, it's like promote my stuff every day, but like I'd like you to be like, hey, I'm on this movie occasionally. You know what I mean? So I people keep track of stuff like that. You know what I mean? Maybe they're just like an extremely hateful person on Facebook, and you're just like, I don't want that on my set. You know what I mean? So Facebook is my main way to go about it. You know, Instagram, I'm just like, I have one. I don't really use it. I post an image. People may like it. There's no real transactions or interactions on there. So I'm just like, if you want Steve, you got to contact Stephen Morris on Facebook. You know?
Yeah.
Or I have like, you know, my website, morrisbetterpictures.com. They can sign up to, you know, the newsletters. I'll end up posting out for that as well. That's where I'll sell all my merchandise, like films and little paint your own figures, merchandise, stuff like that. My Facebook page, He Knows the Movie. I'll have more pages coming as well, but currently those are the main ones.
Okay, so basically, right now you're working on He Knows. Is that the project that you're working
He
on?
knows we're wrapping up on post production.
Okay.
The other one we're going to do like a table read for Bad Apples,
Yeah.
kind of get a feel for what everybody thinks about the script. So far, everybody loves it, but you know, early stages, everybody always loves it. They're like, it's complete. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole script, but I want to make sure it's a great script. So we're going to do a table read, kind of fill out some of the actors there, see if there are ones I want to kind of give auditions to, you know what I mean? So we'll be posting about all kinds of auditions, chances for, you know, paid roles, people to have, you know, speaking lines, some maybe even killed on screen, cast, crew, any of that. It will all be posted on the Bad Apples page. There's also going to be the crowdfunder I'm going to launch here in the next few months. And there's going to be roles that they could purchase as well to be like, oh, I guaranteed want to die, or I guarantee just want to say something funny. And again, I like to kind of work directly with that person and make sure that it's something they would say or do in kind of a fun way, you know, because I've been on that side where I've put money into crowdfunders to be part of films or just to get merchandise here and there. And I know how much it sucks if like you're like, oh, I'm gonna have like this amazing death. You get there and they're just like flinging blood on you and you're done. You know what I mean? Like bro, that was like $500, but okay.
Right.
Like I get it now that I'm on the other side. I'm like, that money went all to production. It helped make the movie better overall. It wasn't about my death, Steve, but at the same time, I want everybody else to have fun on my set. You know, I want you to be like, there's at least one thing in the reel from this film that I want to add to my reel. And that's kind of my goal. You know, I don't care if overall people love it or hate it, or it's too much blood, too much humor, or stoner jokes, what have you. Just I want, you know, stuff that people are like, man, that looks good. And it was really fun, you know, and that's why I compare it to something like Scream or The Babysitter, stuff like that, where it's like, it's definitely a gory, fun film, but it has that humor too, where it kind of like acknowledges how goofy it is at times, you know?
Right. So I mean, do you put up clips just to see what feedbacks you get back before you release the movie to see if people are engaging into the film?
So for the first film, you know, He Knows, what I did was I took the opening 7 or so pages of the script. I went and filmed that in that early October of 2020, I think it was. And, you know, I released that to kind of be like, hey, we're doing a crowdfunder. This is kind of what we're gearing for. We shot it on a lesser camera to kind of make it seem like it was 20 years earlier because, you know, it's a 20-year time gap between that and the major story of He Knows. So we released that to try to gauge interest and stuff. You know, I was aiming for 30,000. I think I raised 7,000, which is really good. You know, it all helped. But when I look at effects, makeup, and all that, and props, that rounded out to be like 4,300. You know, I had, you know, some person that, you know, rounded out to be like 3,750. I had locations, all this other stuff. It added up quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was just a lot.
Yeah.
I actually forgot what the question was. I was just starting to rant again.
You know, I know a great guy named Joe Castro.
Yeah, I'm aware of Joe Castro. He's going to be working on 10 Roof. That's going to be Rebecca's follow-up movie to The Embalmers.
Oh, so you know Joe Castro?
I know of Joe Castro. I haven't met him in person yet.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook together. You know,
I see his
work. I like it and stuff. So
yeah, I have him as a friend as well. I see some of his work, man, is amazing. I can't tell a real person from the person that he creates.
Yeah. Have you checked out my guy, Derek Worley? I think that's how you say his last name. He's done some big things. Wicked Ones, My Film, Zombieland, Double Tap. Like he's been a part of some bigger.
What's his last name? What's his sorry?
It's WEHRLY or WHERLY. I forget.
Derek Worley.
Derek Worley. Yeah.
Worley. Okay.
His work is amazing. You know, he's somebody I've talked to about bringing on future projects as well. Like, we just kind of write stuff and like pitch it back and forth, and are just like, wouldn't it be cool to do this death of a fan film? Like, so like I said, I'm writing 4 or 5 things at once. You know, I'm like, I want a Resident Evil fan film. So we're both Resident Evil fans. I'll pitch it to him and be like, how much do you think it would cost to make a hunter in real life? You know what I mean?
Where are some of the locations that you're you shot at?
So for He Knows, we shot all around Indiana, Indianapolis, Mooresville, Martinsville, Bloomington. Like I shot Henryville, Indiana. Like we kind of got around. I had a lot of locations, a lot of actors, a lot of stuff where people say don't do, but we did, and it came off great. I'm so excited to share this movie with people. But yeah, I've just been like seeing it over and over again this whole past week, and I'm just like, I want to show everybody everything,
Right? As a director, you just can't wait to put it out there and get the feedback from it.
Yeah, that scene I released the other day, everybody was like, "Are you sure you want to release a whole scene like that?" I was like, "We got so many kills in this movie. They're all looking fantastic. This will be fine." Everybody's hype off Scream right now, and this is really fun Scream-like scene. Like it's such a nod to Scream and a Halloween that I really hope everybody gets a chance to go check it out because, like I said, it's close to 3 minutes released of the film. That was like a $2,000 day for me. You know what I mean? Like of what it cost. So please go check it out. Free on YouTube, you guys. No.
So what you sent me, what I saw, is that the trailer to?
No, I have 2 teaser trailers on there, which if you go to like my main website, morrisbetterpictures.com, they'll have the 2 teaser trailer links, music video for an original song by a band called Black Phantom. Okay. They're located out in Italy. Fantastic band, really popular, especially out there in Europe. They did a song called Sammy the Elf specifically for the film, and it's super fun. Like I said, I got the music video. It's got a lot of footage of the film in the music video mixed with the footage of the band. My Facebook is the only one that I didn't upload the 3-minute clip to my website yet, but that's on Facebook. And on the main website is also the opening 7 minutes of the film. So you get to see that 20-year flashback that I was talking about with a fun kill, a really fun animated music kind of opening using another song from that band, Black Phantom. The song's name is Schattenjäger, I think is what it is that we use. It's crazy. Like I said, they're a really cool band, man. Real metal band out in Italy. So
right. So you haven't released the teaser trailer on Facebook yet?
No, it's out there on Facebook as well. It's just so much easier to find on my website or possibly even on YouTube. Just go there, check out He Knows the movie, and possibly come across some things.
Okay, give the viewers that website again so they know exactly where to go.
So it's morrisbetterpictures.com. Morris as in my last name, Morris, betterpictures.com. Like I said, you can pre-order the film He Knows there. I also have some paint your own figures of Sammy the Elf and his little helper.
That was funny.
Actually, I got him sitting right here. Let me grab him for you real quick.
Yeah, funny, Morris. He's sitting his little helper. Oh, what's up, Ken Allen, T. Marvin? What's going on? Thank you guys. Sean Trapp, Mario.
I don't know if you guys can really see it, but there's a camera
right there. Yeah. Oh,
so that's the little helper. That's kind of made up of the actress Morgan Pyle from that Zac Efron Ted Bundy film that I was talking about. It's extremely wicked, something vile, evil. It's such a long title for that film, but it's a paint your own figure, really fun on that website. And then Sammy the Elf. He's supposed to have a little knife right here, but that kind of broke off in transition recently. Transition.
That's
so
awesome.
Fun little characters, paint your own, kind of made from a couple characters from the film. So there's a lot of fun stuff on that website.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And so what else would you like to tell the viewers?
A lot of people starting out in film, I guess, maybe, because I'm still, even though I've been doing it since like 2009, I'm still kind of considered starting out amongst like the indie horror scene, I guess. Yeah. Just because you haven't done something doesn't mean that you can't. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Just got to do it. You know what I mean? I worked 2 jobs, donated plasma. I had a crowdfunder. There was people that I knew that were just like giving us food or stuff for set. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, like don't go out there and, beg people per se, but like, just it doesn't hurt to ask, see what,
Yeah,
people can help you out with or what they want to help you out with. And you'll be
that's right.
surprised. If you
Right.
build it, they will come, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
especially if it's something in positive, something that you know for the world to see.
Mhm.
Why not? You know what I mean?
Right. And for sure. And for me as a filmmaker, it's like I'm not reinventing the wheel at all, guys. I just want to make the thing keep rolling. You know what I mean? So come
Right,
join me.
right, 100%. What advice would you give any um, new director or actor that wants to get into that field?
Don't be afraid to ask questions. You know what I mean? Like I said, my biggest strength is knowing my weakness, which is most technical things on a film.
Hello.
I
Yeah,
can do a camera, I can do lights, I can do sound. I'm not
yeah,
great at them. You know
right,
what I mean? But I can do them. And just knowing and, recognizing real when you see it, you know what I mean? Just kind
right,
of like keep those people that are good close to you and,
and work
pay
with
them
them.
what they're worth. I mean,
Yeah,
don't break the pocket, but like, chat with them. Be like, hey, man, would you be willing to do this for X amount of money, this amount of credit, what have you, and you'll be
right,
surprised.
right. What's your opinion on extras? Right, I know some extras come and they don't get paid to do what they do.
Mhm.
Do you think they should get paid for that time or not?
So I feel like everybody should be paid, honestly, but there are situations where, like, for smaller indie films, where again, say I only had 15 to 30,000, and all my crew are working 20 plus days, they're gonna get like 3,000 here, 2,000 there. The money goes quick.
Right,
So for volunteer background roles, you're not getting anything, but I've been a background on, like I said, bigger things like Nashville, Jungle Cruise, Hellfest, things like that,
right,
and I got paid really good money, but like there were some where it wasn't as good and it was kind of crazier conditions. Like Hellfest was
right.
kind of like overnight shoots, 13-hour nights. It was sprinkling
Wow,
the whole time. They'd bring out these little heaters for like the last 3, 4 hours of the night.
wow.
And by that time, everybody's like huddled up together, like, hi. You know what I mean? Like we've been on every scene together because there's like
Right.
100 plus extras there.
Wow.
I will say Jungle Cruise was a lot more laid back. It was extremely hot. We're wearing like these 1920s British wool outfits. You know what I mean? I'm like a
Yeah.
soldier on this double decker bus, and it's like extremely hot. And it looks like it's in Britain during like, I don't know, the fall or something in the movie. But I swear to you, we were in Georgia in the summer.
Oh boy.
That was almost 100 degrees. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see this, but I burned from the moon. You know what I mean? Like,
The moon was giving you color.
bro, I was so lucky that they put me on the bottom of this double decker bus, dude. Elizabeth
Oh,
Blunt, I think her name was. Bigger actress, married to the guy from The Office. I forget his name at this moment. She comes down from doing her little scene on the top decker of the bus, and she's like, "Boy, you guys lucky you got down here wiping down sweat." And I'm like, "Right? I mean, I'd like to be on camera, but I'm alive and I'm getting paid." You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
so
It's
volunteer positions is I want everybody to get paid, but if it is a volunteer position, there are those opportunities for people that are just like, I want to be on set. I don't know
right,
much.
right.
This is a
For
good chance to
beginners,
learn.
for like beginners, you would
Extras
say.
and PAs for sure. Like I said,
Okay.
you get stuck a lot of times where it sucks. I don't get paid, but you're networking. That's a good opportunity to get
Right,
paid roles. You know
right,
what I mean? And that's
right,
how I got started. So
right.
I'm not saying everybody has to go through what I went through, but you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Like it's a
right.
good chance to learn, figure out what you
Right.
want to do.
Right. Learn and just get more you know, practice, I would say.
No, absolutely. Student
More,
films, anything you can get your hand on. I mean,
right.
I still do free work all the time, even all the stuff I know how to do. And it's just because I'm addicted to film. I like to be on set and do whatever I can.
Right,
But
right.
like if it's like a really good story, you contribute on top of just showing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Um, and that's really what attracts me to a project is like, is the story unique? Is do you have casting? Do you just know what you're doing on such a technical level that I'm like, I want to learn from you?
Yeah.
There's just so many networking options out there that once you figure out what you do and what you want to do,
Right.
you kind of see your path. You know what I mean? You just got
Yeah.
to get out there and see all the different options.
Yeah. I love the acting. This is gonna be my third film that I'll be in. And I got talking roles. And I love it because Morris, to play a character that you have no idea what he's like, and you got to bring him to life, is challenging. And I like the challenge.
Hmm.
I like to challenge myself, see how far I can go, and I just love it. I love to be behind the camera. I love playing different characters. I wish I can play different characters. Because I get a lot of, like I said, like security, because I'm a big guy. Security.
Right,
I got that gangster look, so I get like the gangster roles,
right.
and stuff like that. But I would like to play something different.
See,
If I
I'm the
can,
same way, and that's what it is. It's like, look at me. I got the redneck look or police officer look, but I
yeah.
want to be more than that. And it's just like, but sometimes I accept, typecast is still cast, my guy. You know what I mean? So like,
I
whatever
get
keeps
it.
it going forward.
I get it. I get it. I the movie I played called Don Hazel the Gangster. I
Hmm.
played a gangster. I played a biker.
Hmm.
Boy, I look good because I look and I got tattoos all over my arms and stuff. So it played out. Because at the time I had a bike crew, so they were like, "Hey, you got a bike crew. You got that look we're looking for. Would you like to be in this film?" I said, "Sure. Why not?" And I played it, and ever since it was just like I loved it from there.
Hmm.
Because I always was into music,
Hmm.
and got into the acting stuff, and I said, "Yeah, I like this. I can do this 24 hours if I get a chance."
It's so fun, man.
It is. It is so fun, and not just by me playing a character, but by watching other actors bringing their character out.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
gotta give a shout out to one of the actors I work with
Yes, go
so
ahead.
often,
Give him
dude.
shout
Like,
outs.
I feel like every time I'm in a short film or on a project or something, this guy is there. I even have him in my movie. But his name's Jordan Mullins, and it's like every time me and him act together, I'm just like, I'm a different dude, man. It's just like
Yeah,
it's so easy and fun with him
yeah,
that like it's natural. When you see us
right,
together, I feel like this dude makes me a better actor. You
right.
know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
like to try to take him with me whenever I do anything, so
Yeah, I get it because with some actors you click.
mhm.
You click it, and when you guys are together, you you just don't perform good together, but you are good look good together. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Kind
there's
of
so
like
many acting styles out there too. So it's just, man, when you find that one that you can just really feed off of, it's like
yes, yes,
it's something else.
yes. It brings so much more out to the film, and I love that. That's why I love filming. Um, but I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing with us your what you got going on and stuff. And we'll definitely we'll promote this and get you out there as much as we can. Also,
Appreciate that.
I got some other people that I can recommend you to come on their podcast as well. Great people. Um, Mr. Mike Wagner from the Mike Wagner Show. Um, and Rebecca Mahan also. She has a talk show. She's an amazing woman. Um, I can send you over to them. I have Shauna Gibson, which is the sister of Tyrese Gibson. I don't know if you know who Tyrese Gibson is. He
Oh
played
yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
yeah, he played in the movie Fast and the Furious. She has a podcast as well. She's a very good friend of mine.
That's awesome.
So
Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so
right,
much.
yeah, because I know you're trying to promote. He knows, and you want to put it out there as much as you can. So these these platforms pretty good platforms, and they got pretty good reach. So if that's something you want to do, I can talk to them and tell them that I'm gonna send you over to them, and then you can come on their show as well and talk about your projects.
No, absolutely. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a people person, so I like to chat to anybody, especially if they have a
You're
podcast.
like me.
You
You're
know what
like
I
me.
mean?
That's why I got the show, because I'm a people's people. I love people.
You know, I got 2 kids. I got a daughter and a son, 10 and 8 years old. I'm around them all day. So when I get to chat to adults, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm so excited. I scare them off. You know what I mean?
Because you got so much to say.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, have you seen this movie, this show? Have you played PlayStation? You know what I mean? Like,
oh my goodness, that's so funny. You know what, Morris? I would love to play in a superhero movie. Remember, like the superheroes? What was his name? Was Victor? He was like the Rock Man. I forgot what was the name of that movie? The Fantastic Four, something like that, but something more modern.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I had worked on like a web series a couple years back where we kind of attempted to do something like that. They're still going on it, but I had only worked on like the first episode or something like that. But it was kind of like little aliens come from space, and like some are evil, some are good, but they imbue with people and turn them to either like a zombie type sorry, Chris.
No,
it's not like a zombie type situation, they're kind of like fighting super strength and stuff, black eyes, all that stuff. I got to do one of those. And then it was like people who would have abilities, like one guy could touch anything and turn into whatever, stone or metal, what have you. It was just super fun, no budget, here in Indiana type situation, Paragen X, like I said, I'm not sure if they're still going or if they're continuing on from that, but they got at least one season out there on YouTube or something. So,
okay, that's awesome.
But yeah, I want to do something like that, just like a bigger budget. Like, dude, I've got so many fan films written. Like so for me, I've been like really obsessed with the Mad Hatter from Batman. So like I have like my whole take on Mad Hatter. That I got the hat, the asylum uniform, everything. That I just like. I'm waiting to shoot this like fan film for Batman. Well, it's more of a DC verse fan film, I'd say, because it's a lot of villains and Batman characters just happen to be in it. Yeah. But like I had like a young Damian Wayne, some kid we had already training for swords and all this stuff. We were like, we're gonna get you there one day. We're gonna film this,
That's gonna be
that's
awesome.
just like one of these things where it's like, do I make my own film where I can potentially make money, or do I make this $15,000-$30,000 fan film that I'm not allowed to make money on? Right. But it would look really cool and would be really fun and possibly great for my reel. Right. But a lot of people frown on fan films, but I'm like, man, when I'm making money, I'm gonna make so many fan films, you guys. No.
Right. and you know what? It's hard nowadays because so many people doing films, so it's so much competition. So to make money, man, you got to put out something real. You really got to be good with the writing, and your ideas got to come. I don't know, but like I'm trying to shoot a film out here in Boston. Based on my life, I'm gonna have my son play play me when I was a teenager. Kind of like explaining my life, how hard I had it when I was a young guy, and the stuff I got into, which was crazy. But to also
exchange some stories, my guy.
Huh?
So we have to exchange some stories, man.
Yeah, I know, right? And kind of just like tell, because I see what's going on today with our young youth. They watch a lot of movies, and it's poisoning them. They really think they're gangsters. They're coming out here, they're shooting people, killing people for no reason. So I just want to kind of like with my story, because I was in those shoes, I was in gangs and stuff like that. I've been in prison and stuff like that, just to show them that if I can change, they can change. And kind of like in my movie, show them how I was then to how I transitioned today. You know what I mean? And just kind of show them that there is a way out. There is a way out. You just sometimes you got to change your surroundings, change your friends, and become a different person. If that's what you really want, is to be different, because you gotta want to be different. You know what I mean? You're gonna get tired of going to jail. You're gonna get tired of getting shot at, or you shooting at, or whatever the case may be. Right. And so that's a message with my story, because here I am today. I'm a podcaster,
Right.
and I feel great. I'm a people's people like you are, and I love to help people. I love to help people. I love to connect people. I love to see people grow and win. you know, and that gives me a boost when I can see or I can help someone. Um, you know, makes me feel good.
Yeah, I'm an extremely like passionate and creative person, so I kind of like feed off that energy, and I'm kind of attracted to that, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah, me
for
too.
sure.
You know, and you look like a young guy, you know, and you're into the, you know, directing film. That's awesome. You know,
33 in July.
woo, you still young, boy. I got you by like
Yeah,
20 something. I got you by like 20 something years, but it's never too late. That's what I love about films. That you're never, you know how people say, well, you too old to be a rapper, or you too old for this and that. When in film, the age really don't matter. I mean, you know, you got people
right.
in the 70s still playing, you know, Godfathers.
Yeah. A
You
lot of the
know?
bigger actors right now didn't get it until they were like late 40s, you know, 50s,
Yeah.
some even. So you can hit at any age.
Right, right, right.
I was
Have
like,
you?
Morgan Freeman was up there in his age for his first role. Kathy Bates, you know, a lot of these roles. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, maybe they fell into it by accident for some of them. It's insane. It's just,
It's insane. But you know, the fact that you being a director and being able to create, man, that's amazing. You can create anything and make anything happen, you know, behind the camera.
that's
And
something I'm super happy with. My first film is like, even though we didn't hit my budget, I still paid everybody the day rates I promised them from the get go when I had planned out the budget. You know, everything got done. You know, there were some things we had to like cut here and there that was just like unable to do with time or budget or whatever, you know, indie films. But overall, it's just I was completely able to deliver the project I wanted to. It
right,
took a little longer than I wanted to, for sure,
right,
but I think people are going to be pretty surprised and happy with it, especially for it being a first feature film for a first time writer director and everything. So
right. So my friend Brandon Crody, he's a CEO of a paranormal investigation group that he runs, and he's asking, what did you direct? Films, movies. He's directing movies.
yeah, so the
he
one
just he
feature
just popped
film.
in. That's why he's asking that.
So I did the one feature film, but there's been a lot of projects over there, student films, short films, stuff like that, that I've worked on that may or may not have seen the light of day. Some you might have to like show me the evidence that it exists for me to admit that it was there. Uh, you know, that's just part of the process of learning over the years, especially when you're not like from some trust fund or something. You know what I mean? Like I said, I dropped out when I was in ninth grade. I got my GED. I went to film school in North Hollywood. I got some really cool internships. You know,
Yeah.
I was an event promoter, so I got like networking skills. I've worked at every fast food job you could imagine. I've done drywall, every type of landscaping, custom paper patios. I've done it all. So I just utilize all these skills I've learned for so many jobs to just be like, oh, this seems like common sense.
Right, right. So you know what? Now that we're talking about this, I was thinking I want to shoot this movie, right?
Mhm.
If I can't get the budget right, maybe I turn it into a series and just play it on a YouTube channel and see what type
Mm,
of feedback I get back, and see if I can find someone interested in picking up the film.
for sure. So that's something that is really popular. You know what I mean? Do the proof of concept. You know, is there like a specific element of your script that you can be like, this would be a trailer moment? You know what I mean?
Right.
Try to film that scene, maybe present it as proof of concept to try to get funds. And again, if you don't get funds, try to adapt. It's like, where can I cut money? It's like, oh, I have a big kill here that requires a lot of blood or something. So if you guys watch the scene that I just released with He Knows, it's very minimal. Like we do have some kind of like prosthetics and stuff and blood and stuff, but it was really minimal on what we had to do for stuff like that and kind of, you know, planning the shot ahead of time. It's just kind of being like, where can I cut? And if you're working with a lot of your friends, you know, maybe they'll put the money off to the back end or let you pay
Right.
them really low or not at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to kind of circumvent that, especially if you're looking to do like your first project, you know.
Right.
Me, I was hard headed. I refused to back down from not having the budget and making the film. So I went over budget, still not having the budget, you
Right. Right.
know.
I
So
get it.
I put in, and we're looking at like 15, 20,000 of my own over like a year and a half, 2 year span. You know what I mean? Of just constantly just being like, well, ramen noodles today, kids, you can have McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to, like, I don't know, like get rid of some things in your life to make some things better, you know, down the line, then maybe it's not something for you. You know?
So my friend Brandon says our TV network would probably love to work with you on Powerflix. Man, you could always bring a film to our TV network if you're interested. Contact us.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. That sounds
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Brandon is awesome. He's very, very smart when it comes to those things.
Well, I'm always writing like 5 things. I've got several features that I'm like, I could slate tomorrow if I hit the lottery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of pacing myself out right now of what I can afford if I had to pay it out of pocket. Should have crowdfunding not work and stuff. So I've got a lot of ideas and stuff that I'm working on. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to pitch.
Right. So I know Brandon came in a little late, and he's asked, so you have something out now I can go watch?
So there's probably a lot of stuff I've acted in out right now, background roles and stuff as well. Like if you pause Jungle Cruise at the right moment, you'll see me sitting on a red bus. No, a lot of stuff as an indie actor, man. You know what I mean? Like
you're funny, Morris.
I try. Hopefully it comes across in some of my movies too. Like, I'm heavy on a humor, man. But yeah, like you know, there's a lot of films right now that indie film wise that you could probably find on like Tubi. If you look at my IMDb and stuff, you can find some stuff there. If you hit me up on YouTube, I post a lot of short films and stuff that I've been in constantly. Because a lot of it's on YouTube or like caught up in distribution for whatever reason. And that's why I'm glad. So something I'm doing myself with my movies is self-distribution. I don't have to be like, I got to wait 6 months for them and they're going to change my title. And now I can't make a board game, you know, like I'm not going to deal with distribution. I've heard so many people that I've talked to that's just, it makes no sense there, but.
Right. So I'm glad you said that because the hard part is not filming the movie. It's the distribution part, the
getting the
business, the business part of it. The business part of it is like the hardest. Getting the money, getting the distribution, you know, getting the say Power Netflix or any of those channels to want to play your movie.
Right.
That's the hard part for me.
Well, there's an awesome tool out there right now. It's like a lot of people are using a Film Hub, you know, and that's something I'm looking into too.
What is it? Film Hub?
Film Hub, HUB.
Hub.
Yeah, go to like filmhub.com and there you can upload your own film, short film, stuff like that, and possibly get it picked up for, you know, distribution on like Amazon, Tubi, things like that. Right. And they get paid if you get paid. Right. Type of thing. So you're not paying money to like try to submit your things to be like, will I be accepted to Tubi? You know?
Right. So that'll be, I'm sorry, that'll be a good.
That's a great tool for any indie filmmaker, Film Hub. There's a lot of people out there like aggregators or distributors that you could talk to that gets you in contact with companies. Yeah. But if you're like, I have trust issues like me, you're like, I'm gonna go to Film Hub where I can control everything, kind of see that I'm getting paid in 3 months from this place, another 2 from that place. People do or don't like it here and there, then I can be like, oh, I'm going to only promote Tubi because they're the one paying, you know?
Right.
So, you know, it's just a lot more control there. If you're like, nobody's going to release my movie. Well, somebody can. You just have to, you know, do a little research and look into that. It's pretty tedious uploading yourself, maybe a lot of technical stuff you may not know, like I don't. Right. So it's just a lot of keeping in touch with your crew, being like, hey, what file type is this? Can we make a poster that fits a landscape? You know what I mean? So a lot of stuff, man.
Well, maybe I can put up a couple clips of a series of my film. You know what I mean? And see.
I don't know if you can upload that stuff to Film Hub, but YouTube's a great way to do that. A lot of filmmakers I know have like, you know, podcasts or YouTube channels, and you know, they just find the best way to engage with their audience directly and try to help promote it from within and see who wants to be involved, you know, and people that when they're involved, they're more likely to put in money, you know what I mean? anyone. And I've learned growing up too is like people around me, they're all rooting for me, but like they're not the ones helping me. It's these people that are seeing the work I'm doing, but you know, I guess they don't know me, but like I'm very upfront, transparent about everything on my page. Like if I had a bad day and I went through rallies, you guys will hear about it. They put mayo on my burger, and I asked, "No mayo, please." You know, I'm that guy. You know, that's just I had a bad day.
Awesome.
I'm very transparent. You know what I mean? So like, again, just ranting. I don't know where I was going with that, but
okay, that's cool. So, you know, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You've been great. Can you give the guys one more? Tell them exactly where to reach you. What website to reach you at?
So you can look me up on Facebook, Stephen Anthony Morris. It might be Steve Morris or something.
He's not chill, folks, but try one.
Yeah, I'm not the best at social media for some reason. You know what I mean? Like I'm stuck in my ways, but I'm on there constantly. But you know, my website, morrisbetterpictures.com. You can look me up on IMDb. You know, look at my films, He Knows, The Embalmers, Chasing Rabbits. You know, there's a lot of like smaller indie films that I've been in that, you know, are doing pretty well.
Okay, awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You've been great. Thank you for sharing with us. I hope to see you in the big screen, man. See some of your movies in the, you know, in the theaters, so I can say, "Hey, I know that guy."
And I'm telling you, even as a background extra, when you see your elbow on like a big screen, you get hyped. You're like, dude, I was standing there for 14 hours that day. That is me. You know what I mean? So, like in Jungle Cruise, I keep looking over at myself, like, oh, that I looked over at the guy constantly, so they get this movement and they got it. Yes. Yeah. So
yeah,
I appreciate that though, guys. Thanks for having me.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. And we'll bring you back anytime you have a project or you want to promote something, you reach out to me and we'll bring you back on the show. We'll talk about it, you know, and we'll help you promote.
For sure. Once I get to the crowdfunding stage for Bad Apples and I get to casting and all that stuff, I'll come back. Maybe have some footage of some other stuff and chat a bit.
Yes. And then what I'm going to do, I'm also going to reach out to Mr. Mike Wagner and my friend Rebecca Mahan and tell them about you. So bring you on their show as well, so you can get more viewers on different platforms and, you know, and spread it out.
I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming on. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Ciao. Yes, everyone. That was Steve Morris, film director, writer, producer. He does it all. You can check him out on his website. See what he got going on. He got the movie coming out. He Knows. It's now in production. Should be done in a couple weeks, maybe, or in a month or so. Great guy. You guys can see how great he is. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting the guests, supporting the Don Vic Show. Big shout out to everyone that came on and supported us tonight. Brent Gaskins, Brandon, my nephew Mario, and everybody else that's watching on all the channels. So you guys have a good night. We'll see you next weekend. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll be out of town, but I will keep you guys posted with what I do. It's all right, Brandon. Don't worry about it. I get it. I know you're a busy man. You're a busy man. I get it. So yes, folks, just keep watching the Don Vic Show. Keep tuning in on my page and see what I got going on, what I'm doing, and see who else is coming aboard the show for next week. And and I'll see you guys then. All right. So you guys have a great night. It's your boy Don Vic from the Don Vic Show. Peace, love, respect, and you know we out of here.